City, as we always do each week. My name is Frank Allan, and welcome to another edition of the Coffee Hour. And we're going to be with you for the next hour. Those of you who are here for the very first time, thank you for joining us, and we want you to stay with us. A lot of you are at work right now, and you're probably in your homes and watching us on your computer or whatever device that you have, your cell phones, your iPhones, or whatever. We thank you for being with us, and we're going to spend, as I said, the next hour, and we're going to engage everyone in conversation. So those of you who are, I guess, regulars, you already know the protocol, and we want to say hello to everyone who is watching, people from Facebook, people from YouTube, and we have another place where we can go, and we're here, and we started it last night. We want to say hello to all of the people over there watching us on Instagram, and of course, thank you so much for being along. Their first time on Instagram. I'm going to explain the history on that one. But we started with Instagram last night when we were doing Talk Back Live, and we're going to see how this whole works out. I think it's going to be fine. We want to display this show to everyone who's watching. Now, if you're watching us on Facebook, of course, you already know what to do. All you have to do is tag your friend and get them, because I know you have a lot of friends, right? So you tag your friends and get them in on the show, and do it right now while the show is young, because right now we're only coming up to 2 minutes past the hour, and so they can spend the whole entire hour with us. If you're watching us on YouTube, then of course, all you have to do is subscribe to us. And once you subscribe to us, you will never miss a show, because each time we come on the air live, as we do right now, we will always remind you that we are, by, of course, notifying you. And even when we do such as a little things such as maybe post a pre-recorded video or something, you'll get that notification as well. And for those of you who are watching us for the first time on Instagram, all you have to do is just follow me. Follow me on Instagram, and you'll get notifications just like everyone else who's following me now. So that's how we do it each week. And of course, we simulcast, as I said, between the three of us, and everything is going to be fine. So thank you so much for being along with us. We've got so much to talk about later on in the program. We have our 2020 feature featuring Brian Camp with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. And 22 the hour, we have DJ Pete coming in. He's going to give us entertainment news. And of course, he's going to recite all of those birthdays of people of notoriety who are celebrating within this week. So we've got a lot to do today. Also, we are going to give you updates. We have movies that you would like directly from Turner Classic Movies. For those of you who love those classic movies, I have my picks of the week for this weekend for you. So that's coming up too. And you, me, and conversation and all that goes along with it. So thank you so much for being along with us on this Friday. So what do you say? We raise our cups, because what would the coffee hour be without a little coffee? So excuse me while I shoot up. What a way to start the day, right? A little Java, a little Joe, or whatever you want to call it. That's delicious, by the way. They're doing a good job each week. Never fails. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, why don't we get the show started by giving you that hand clap? We have to do that hand clap each week. Of course, we do that each week. For those of you who will watch the show, that hand clap is for you, first of all, for being so diligent and being so loyal to this show. And you come in each week, and we thank you for that. And of course, you know, if you can't spend a whole hour with us, but we thank you so much for whatever time you could spend with us. And if you're on your coffee break, of course, you might want to take that 15-minute coffee break and just stay at your desk and continue watching the show along with us, and have your coffee at the same time, which you can do a little multitasking while you're working and watching the show at the same time. That hand clap also goes out to all of the people who work in hospitals, such as the doctors, the nurses, all other hospital personnel who have been with us since the pandemic began. And you know when that was over a little over a year and a half ago. And they're still working too, because they're in hospitals trying to get people well. As you already know, we have what we call this Delta variant, and that's of course mixed with COVID-19. And It's a whole big mess, but people are getting vaccinated for that. There's vaccinations for that. And that's the thing that we push each week too, for all of you to get vaccinated. And we're not saying that you should, or we're not saying that we demand that you do it, because that's not what it's all about. What it's all about is just staying healthy and using common sense. If you have children, of course, you want to protect them in the best way you possibly can, because they're going to school and they're going to be mixing and mingling with other students and teachers. And of course, you teachers, use your common sense. Use your common sense. Get vaccinated, because you have to be around all of those young people, those little people, the people of the future, who are going to be coming up and possibly being presidents and maybe co-hosting and doing shows like I'm doing right now, or whatever they want to do in life. We want to make sure that they live a long, healthy life. And you could help out with that by make sure that you are vaccinated, and you're going to teach them. You're going to be vaccinated. Doctors, lawyers, of course, you're going to do that too. If you're going to be with clients, you're going to have to be proactive and do that. A lot of people are still on the fence about vaccinations. Of course, you already know that we have 3 vaccines on the market. They are J&J, which is Johnson & Johnson. We have the Moderna. And of course, we have Pfizer. Now, the Moderna and Pfizer require 2 shots to be fully vaccinated. And of course, Johnson & Johnson is only 1 shot. Whatever you're taking, because the boosters are coming along the way for people who are 65 and over, it's available right now for you. And if you have taken Pfizer or Moderna, you might want to stick with that for your booster. If you're taking Johnson & Johnson, you might want to stick to that for your booster. But it's available right now, and we'll get to the other ages pretty soon. They're working on it right now, but you'll get there. And they're advising everyone who are taking the booster shots to make sure that you do it like at least 16 months after your second vaccination, your prior, that made you fully vaccinated. And I say 6 to 8 months. Some people want to wait a little longer. That's okay too, but as long as you do it. And now, of course, we have the flu season here as well. So there's another thing that we have to work on too. So people are taking flu shots. You don't want to take shots consistently. You want to take it, one at a time within a 2-week or 3-week span. For instance, if you're going to take your booster shot for variant, of course, you're going to wait 2 or 3 weeks before you take your vaccine for the your flu vaccination. All right. So that's there. And there's so many vaccinations on the market, especially when you get a certain age, you get older. There's a lot of vaccinations that people take, senior citizens take. You have the vaccinations, as I said, for the flu. Then you have for Moderna, the vaccinations for COVID and Delta variant. You have vaccinations for shingles and pneumonia and all of those kind of vaccinations, because the older you get, the more help you're going to be needing. And medications have their place in life. A lot of people don't like to take it, but there it is. I want to say hello to DJ Pete, just popped in. Good morning, DJ Pete. Glad to see you. And DJ Pete, as I said, will be here 20 to the hour. And he's got that information for entertainment news, and all of that good stuff that's coming along. I see more people are coming in too. I want to wave to you guys, say hi. You're popping up there, so hi to you. There you are on Facebook. Hi to you, and a hi to the people that are watching us on YouTube. And hello, Instagram. Good morning to you too as well. We are going to keep things rolling because we have a weather forecast. Now, listen, when you come in, and unless you're outside of New York City, all right, or unless you live in New York City, please give us a weather forecast where you may be. I'll take care of the New York City forecast. But when you come in, give us a little weather forecast. That's not mandatory that you do that, but that's something that we ask people to do when they come in to be part of the show too. So, give us a little forecast right there. Brian just came in, so we want to say hello to him. Good morning to you, Brian. Brian will be here, as I said, 20 to the hour, 20 after the hour, not too far away. That's in about another 10 minutes from now. And he's got the latest developments in today's world of sports with Sports Update. So all three people are with us. We simulcast each week with all three people: Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram as of last night. So Instagram is out there right now watching us too, and everybody else. So what do you say we get with the weather? The weather forecast. That looks good. But before we get to the weather forecast, I want to give out a little information. You already know, and this just got back to me when I went off the air last week on the coffee hour. I just got the information about Melvin Van Peebles, who's one of the great actors and writers and producers in the movie industry. He passed away. Influential director too, actor, writer. He died last week, and I didn't find out about that until I got off the air last Friday off of Facebook. He died at the age of 89, so I just figured I'd just throw that out there just in case anyone didn't get that information, but I'm sure you did before I did anyway. I got that late, but better late than never. We want to talk about that. In the jazz world, Lonnie Liston Smith, who now is known as Dr. Lonnie Liston Smith, and Lonnie Liston Smith, a NEA jazz master known for his dynamic and wizardry of the Hammond organ, the Hammond B3 organ. He passed away this past Tuesday. He was 79 years old, and the cause of death was pulmonary fibrosis, and that's a form of lung disease. And so he passed away at the age of 79. I had the pleasure of meeting him years ago when I was a jazz disc jockey, because, when you're a jazz disc jockey, you hit the circuit where these people are playing. You go to the clubs and you watch them play, you watch them perform. And then I had an opportunity to meet him personally. But he was much younger then. But we want to send our condolences out to Van Peebles family, to the Lonnie Liston Smith family, all their friends, relatives, people who work with them, colleagues, and all of their fans and their followers. We want to send our condolences out to each, to them. We're going to get to that weather forecast right now, as promised, because it's going to be a good one for New York. Now, this is only for New York. This is the only weather forecast for New York. And right now, we've got 58 degrees. That's what we have out right now. 58 degrees, and the sun is bright. The sun is bright out there. It looks great. And it looks like there's sunny skies today. We're going to have a high of 69 degrees. So we have winds west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. For tonight, we'll be clear skies, low 54 degrees. And we have winds light and variable as well. As we look for Saturday, we're in the coolest stage of this season right now because we're already in the midst of fall. It's a few clouds early, otherwise mostly sunny. That's for tomorrow, and we'll have a high 77 degrees. Winds will be southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. For Saturday night, generally fair skies. We have a low of 59 degrees. Winds will be west-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And as we wrap up our weekend for Sunday, the temperatures go higher at this particular point. Sunshine and clouds mixed together. We'll have a high around 80 degrees. There we go. That's going to be the highest this weekend. Winds will be southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. So repeating that current temperature here in New York City, we have 58 degrees, and it's sunny right now here in New York. So when you come in, ladies and gentlemen, make sure that we have a chance to hear what's happening in your area as far as the weather is concerned. We love to hear that and give us that information. So there you go. You have that weather now. I don't know what you're going to do if you're under the midst of a warmer temperature where you are. Enjoy what you have left. Of course, here in New York, we're going to have to enjoy. It's not exactly cold yet, but you could tell it's getting there. Still, you can do outdoor activities. The only thing that you have to do it with a jacket now, but enjoy what's left of it now, because before you know it, we'll be basking in the snow. Oh, I hate that. I hate that. I don't even know what possessed me to say that. All right. As much as I hate. Oh, I hate it. But anyway, life goes on, right? And since we had a nice summer, we look forward to a winter, maybe snow, cold temperatures, and things like that for people who enjoy that kind of weather. And I do know people who enjoy that kind of weather. So those of you who enjoy the cold weather, you're welcome to my share of it. Okay, that's the way I see it, because I am not a what do you call a cold weather kid or baby or man or whatever. I'm not into the cold weather, but here it is. I live in a four-season area, and this is what I'm going to get, so I'm going to have to deal with it. And as I always say, the best thing the cold weather can do for me is make me sleep well. That's it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, just in case you're just joining us, it's the coffee hour, so excuse me while I shoot up. Okay, there you go. Okay, I also mentioned that we're going to have those picks of the week for the movies. That's going to come up all, and it's going to we'll have all of that coming up for you. Right now, it's 16 minutes past the hour. 16 minutes past the hour, whether it's day, night in your area, we wish you a good one, good morning. A lot of you people are watching. Now, again, for those of you who are just joining us for the first time, we invite you, if you're watching us on Facebook, tag your friends, get them in on the action so they can be part of us as well. If you're watching us on YouTube, of course, you're going to want to subscribe to our YouTube channel. This way you'll never miss a show, because every time we come on live or we post a pre-recorded video or something, you will be notified of that. That's the benefit of being a subscriber to the YouTube channel, to my YouTube channel. And of course, if you're watching us on Instagram, there you go, Instagram. Good to see you guys out there. If you're watching us there, all you have to do is subscribe to my Instagram. And of course, we'll be one big happy family. So there you go. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we've got, let's see, what do we have going here? We've got so much going here. We gave you the weather forecast. We have, as I said, the movies are coming up and all of that. And you guys, I know, watching the movies, you guys are going to have a lot of entertainment to do, because if you happen to be in one of those areas where you're going to have inclement weather, you're going to want to stay home. So we'll tell you about that entertainment, all that comes with it. So again, excuse me while I shoot up. I wanted to tell you, since we are broadcasting the coffee hour on Instagram for the first time, let me give you a little history. We had, remember when we had this show? This show used to be on for a half hour, and we used to do the coffee hour every Friday between 10 and 10:30. And at one point at that time, after getting off the air at 10:30, I would have brunch, and then I would go live on Instagram. I would go live on Instagram. Hey, DJ Pete is all over the place. There he is again. Live on Instagram. And we had the show. We didn't call it the coffee hour then, because it was noon. So we used to broadcast the coffee hour between 10:30 and 10 and 10:30, and then take a break and go to Instagram between 12 and 12:30. And we really didn't have a name for the show. I guess it was, we could have named it the lunch hour, but we didn't name the show. We just went out there to entertain people, just to say hi to everybody there. But that's how we started. So we figured the light bulb came on during the week, in the middle of this week, and said, why not, when we do the show, when we do Talk Back Live, which was last night, why don't we get Instagram in on it and see what happens, see how it works, and then we do the coffee hour the same way. So far it's working. People are coming in. Hello guys, all you guys. And so that's how the whole thing started. So we want to try to get this show out to everybody who could watch us all over the world. So if you can't get us on one, you can get us on the other. It's all right there, or you can watch it all at one time. I don't know how you do it, but whatever, floats your boat. That's a good thing. Want to say good morning to Cherie out in Texas. Wait a minute, you moved out of Texas, Cherie, did you, or did you not? It's been a long time since you've been here. I'm glad to see you out here this morning. Thank you so much for being along with us. And say hello to your smiling hubby. He has a smile even when he's not smiling. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I see more people are coming in, so I just want to wave to you guys. Hello, hello. Oh boy, people are popping up on there, right there on the Instagram. Instagram. It's going to take us a while before we get used to Instagram because we did it last night, and so everybody's around us. So we wanted to say hi to you guys, all of you guys, and thank you so much for being with us. Okay. We're going to move the show on, and as I said, we've got a lot to talk about. If you want to join in on a conversation or anything, you could just join us right now. We'll be glad to talk to you. Anything you want to say, I don't care what you want to talk about. We'll talk about anything, but as long as you're out there. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go live via telephone to Charlotte, North Carolina, and talk to a man who always brags about the Queen City and how good the weather is and his cooking and his smoker and all of that kind of stuff. Brian Kent with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning. Yes, we are in the Queen City. It is 69 degrees, going up to 80. It's partly cloudy now. Partly cloudy. I guess it's partly cloudy, and then it was partly sunny. But it's partly cloudy right now. It's going up to 80. And we're going to have some beautiful weather. Yes, the smoker will be going on for Saturday and Sunday, and I'm going to try some new recipes, and it's going to be good. It's going to be good. I've been brushing up on my skills, and it's going to be great. Yes, the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina.
Sounds so nice. You have to say it twice.
Yeah. So hello, good morning to Pete. Good morning to everybody out there. Good morning to Sherry. Nice meeting you again. And to everybody out there watching in YouTube land and in Facebook. And here's some sports.
And Instagram, too.
And Instagram, that's right. Okay. We get a lot of sponsors coming on to the show here. In sports, Major League Baseball, the Milwaukee Brewers announcer Bob Uecker celebrated 50 years. That's a half a century behind the microphone. Uecker, the Milwaukee native, affectionately known as Mr. Baseball, was honored last Saturday on Bob Uecker Day in the city of Milwaukee and the state of Wisconsin. Uecker joined the Brewers broadcast team in 1971 after a 6-year career as a catcher with the Milwaukee Brewers, St. Louis Cardinals, Philadelphia Phillies, and Atlanta Braves. That included a World Series championship ring with the St. Louis Cardinals. Now, Uecker is also known to be not only a great broadcaster, but he's also in the entertainment world of show business and movies and television TV series. He appeared on many times. I think he's one of the, if I'm correct, I got to do some research. I think he's up there as the top 3 guests on the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. He's been on there many of times. So, I'm gonna look that up. He's also played in a TV series, Mr. Belvedere. Many of you know. He did the commercials for those series of the light beer commercials, and he was in a movie called Major League, which is still today is a very popular movie to this very day. At 87, he's still going on. For Bob Uecker, congratulations. A lot of people don't celebrate 50 years in doing one thing, but congratulations to you. In the NBA has denied Andrew Wiggins' request for a vaccination exemption, leaving the Golden State Warriors forward ineligible to play home games until he meets San Francisco's requirement. The ruling was announced last Friday, hours after the New York Knicks said their entire roster is vaccinated, making all their players eligible to play in their home games. Because of local coronas regulations in New York and San Francisco, the New York Knicks, the Brooklyn Nets, and the Golden State Warriors are required to be vaccinated to play in their home arenas unless they have an exemption for medical or religious reasons. Now, Wiggins sought an exemption from the NBA for religious reasons, was denied. Under these terms, Wiggins would not be able to play home games. That's just home games. So that's a minimum of 41 games he cannot play in. 41 games. That's not counting when they have to come into New York twice to play the Brooklyn Nets and the New York Knicks. So it might be 43 because there's 82 games in a season, so that one makes it 43. So that's where he's at. He stands right now. Now he's going to be losing a lot of money this season because if you're not vaccinated as an NBA player, you do not get paid. That goes for a Washington Wizards star player. Bradley Beal says he definitely thinks about getting a vaccination against COVID-19, but still remains unvaccinated for personal reasons entering training camp. Beal says, I don't think you could, this is his words, I don't think you can pressure anybody into making a decision about their body or what they put into their body. But athletes put steroids in their bodies. They put PEDs. They put all sorts of stuff in their bodies just to get advantage or edge to try to keep their bodies in shape. So if you could put steroids and other foreign substance in your body and you refuse to take a vaccination shot, well, so be it. It's your choice. Who am I to say what you shouldn't do or should not do? So let's see. New York City Marathon is coming back. Yes, after a year away from the marathon, it is back. It's going to be November 7th. The New York Road Runners of last Wednesday announced its healthy and safety guidelines for the 2021 New York City Marathon. And now, this is all individuals would be required to wear face coverings on public transportations to the start in the starter area of Staten Island, in the post-finish area in Central Park, and in the designated indoor venues. It is strongly recommended that all individuals wear face coverings where social distance isn't possible. Runners are not, repeat that, runners are not required to wear face coverings on the course. All registered participants will be required to show proof of at least one dose of COVID-19 vaccine authorized by the Food and Drug Administration, which is known as the FDA, or on the World Health Organization, which is called WHO, or proof of a negative COVID-19 test no more than 48 hours before November 7th. So, there you go. So, they are very serious about this. And there's some more rules that I'll bring up in the upcoming weeks before the event starts. This day, October 1st, 1903, the first Major League Baseball World Series game ever played. First, 1903. Pittsburgh Pirates beat the Boston Americans 7-3. 1922, St. Louis Cardinals second baseman Roger Hornsby pitched 3 for 5 in a 7-1 win over the Chicago Cubs, making him the only player to bat in a season 400, right, and hit 40 home runs in the same season. That's an incredible mark. It's a mark that we may not ever see again. 1932, Babe Ruth's legendary call. Now, we have heard this many times where Babe Ruth takes his bat and pointed out the center field. That's where he was going to hit the ball. Well, sure enough, he did that. 1932, Babe Ruth. Legendary call points to center field before home run into the Wrigley Field bleachers in the 5th inning, Game 3 of the World Series. Yankee did win that game 7-5. 1933, NFL, New York Giants record 0 first downs, but still beat the Green Bay Packers 10-7. 1945, Joe Louis, world heavyweight champion, is discharged from the U.S. Army after being awarded the Legion of Merit. 1950, we just talked about Bob Uecker. Listen to this. 1950, Bob Uecker, last game as a manager of the Philadelphia Athletics. He was the longest serving manager in Major League Baseball history. He managed from 1901 to 1950, 49 seasons. I don't know why he stopped at 49. I would have tried to manage one more year for half a century, but let's give him the extra year. He probably was around much more longer than actually being manager, so he had a long tenure too. 1961, New York Yankee right fielder Roger Maris became his Major League Baseball season record holder of 61 home runs, passing Babe Ruth at Yankee Stadium. 1973, outfielder manager Leo DeRocha ends his 45-year career in the sport when he resigns as the Houston Astros manager. 1975, remember the Thriller of Manila? Muhammad Ali stops Joe Frazier 14 rounds in Quezon City, Philippines. That was a famous Thriller in Manila. I've had this on one of my lists of boxing greatest matches that I watch up from time to time. Great match. All three fights where they fought. Brazilian great Pelé plays his final game for the New York Cosmos in front of 75,000 fans at Giant Stadium. He scored a record 1,281 goals in 1,363 games. 1997, Nebraska Hall of Fame coach Tom Osborne records his 250 victory, beating Oklahoma 67-7. He only did it in 301 games. 250 victories in just 301 games. Amazing. 2004, Seattle Mariners. Oh, I wish Naota was here to hear this here. Maybe he might tune in later. But Ichiro Suzuki gets his 258th hit of the season, breaking George Sisler's 84-year record. Now Suzuki is a Japanese all-star, great. He's a legend, and just want to tip my hat to him. Birthdays: 1945, Rod Carew, Hall of Fame, was born in Panama. 1955, four-time Major League All-Star Jeff Reardon, born in Pittsfield, Massachusetts. 1963, Mark McGwire, born in Pomona, California. 1964, Roberto Kelly, Major League outfielder coach of the New York Yankees, another fellow Panamanian, was born in Panama City, Panama. 1984, Matt Cain pitched the year 2012 perfect game for the San Francisco Giants, was born in Dalton, Alabama. And weddings on this day: 2006 former Major League player Darryl Strawberry weds Tracy Baldwin. And that's sports, everybody.
Okay. We talked about earlier, you were talking about how people, when they refuse to get vaccinated, but they take other substances in their bodies. And it's true. It's true. I mean, I've a lot of people, these sports figures, they do a lot of steroids, not all, but some. People smoke cigarettes. People drink, but they won't get vaccinated, and it's a sad thing. It's a sad thing.
Yeah.
But that's why we encourage people to, whether they want to hear it or not, but we do it, and encourage people to get vaccinated. Now, people who are at the age of 65 and over are now available, or they're eligible to get the booster shot too. But there you go. Yeah. So it looks like you're going to have a smoking weekend. No pun intended.
Yeah, no, there's none taken, but yeah, we're gonna have a smoking good time weekend. I'm gonna smoke some bison burgers. This is not beef. It is in the beef family, but bison is a much more leaner meat. We're gonna have some of that, and I'm gonna smoke a chicken. It's my first time actually smoking a whole chicken. I'm trying to lay off the beef and the pork. I want to try something a little bit more that's nutritious, so I'm going to do that. Yes. So
this is going to be the first time you smoked a chicken?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Hey, Mom was like that. She was always innovative. She always came up with something. I think you took that after her. She always
you got to be creative, and that's what I've learned to do.
Yeah.
People have asked asked me to cater some of their events in the neighborhood. You know, I make a great brisket. I make great Boston pork shoulder, Boston butter as they call it, and I just gather my cookbooks around me and plan. What I do is Monday I start preparing for next weekend. You know, the following weekend.
Yeah. Well, see, there you go. You got a schedule to deal with. Hey, by the way, the Yankees did win that game last night. Final score was, I think it was 6-2, I believe. I can't remember offhand, but that was the final score. They did it. So
they're getting closer. They're getting closer to that playoff berth. So yeah, Yankees are sitting nice. My San Francisco Giants, we're trying to hold off the Dodgers. I mean, we're in the playoffs, but we're trying to win the division. Yeah. So I'll be tuning in tonight, watching there. Yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens. Brian, thanks a lot. We'll catch you back here next week.
Have a nice weekend.
You too. Take care. That's Brian Kemp, ladies and gentlemen. As always, he comes to you with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update, and that's his conclusion of his part of the 2020 feature. Up next, coming to 20 to the hour, DJ Pete will be here with his part of the 2020 feature. He'll have entertainment news and, of course, reciting all of those birthdays of people of notoriety within the business within this week. All of that's coming up. And if you are just joining us, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. My name is Frank Allan. It's Friday, and it's the first day of October, a brand new month. And everybody's getting set for that because at the end of this month, Halloween is coming on. Ooh, that's coming up. And before you know it, you have November coming around because Halloween is always at the end of the month, right? At the last day. Yeah. And that's coming up. And November, within that month, you have Thanksgiving. And then before you know it, Christmas will be here, New Year's. And then you see the light at the end of the tunnel after that. And we look forward to another summer. But, you know, we take a little bit at a time. But right now, it's a brand new month. It's October 1st. And if you're celebrating a birthday on this day, well, happy birthday to you, or any kind of event that you'd be celebrating on this day, October 1st, the very first day of the month. And we want to wish you the best. And so there you go. So let's continue with our coffee. Let me shoot up a little bit, okay? Oh. Okay, there you go. Want to say hello to all of you guys who had just popped in on Facebook. We dropped out of Facebook for a moment. But we're back. And I don't know what happens. Sometimes we get those technical problems. You know, you get a glitch or something, and it happens. But we're back on the air now. And for those of you who were with us, we hope that you're back with us. Okay, and those of you on YouTube, well, we're stable, and we're stable over there on Instagram as well. So everybody is okay. We just want to make sure that Facebook is always with us too, because that's where we started. Just to be honest, that's where we started the show, on Facebook, and we branched off, and it gave us the opportunity to branch off to other places like, of course, YouTube and Instagram as well. So thank you guys for being part of us each week. And again, if you're here for the first time, don't make it your last time. Always be here and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And this way you won't miss a show. And of course, when we come on live, or if we post some kind of video, entertaining pre-recorded video, you'll be notified of that. That's the benefit of being a subscriber to my YouTube channel. And of course, if you're on Instagram, of course, you want to subscribe, or they don't use the subscribe word on Instagram. They just say follow. Just follow us on Instagram. And for those of you who are on Facebook, you already know what to do right there, right? You're there. You're friends of mine. Even if you're not a friend of mine, you can still get this show. It's all around the world, and anyone can watch it. And we try to make it a clean show. Even little kids can watch this show. That's what the show is all about. We want to make it a wholesome, good show for, we like to call it a family show. So everybody get together and have a little coffee. And for the kiddies, have a little milk. Okay. Let's see. We're going to, later on, not too far away, as I mentioned earlier, we're going to have all of those movies that we're telling you about, our picks. or my personal pick for this week, for this weekend, picks of the classic movies. That's all coming up, and so much more in conversation to you. So if you have anything to say, you could say it right now because we're open. I could see you right there on Facebook. I could see you right there on YouTube, and I could see you right there on Instagram as well. And those of you who want to say anything at all, please, I'll acknowledge you. If you have any questions or ideas, maybe some kind of, advice or something, we'll be glad to hear from you. We'll be glad to hear from you. And by the way, if you notice that you won't see it on Instagram, sorry to say we don't have it posted on Instagram, but if you want to get in touch with me personally, all you have to do is just look up, for all those of you who are on Facebook, you just look up there, over here, or down here, or whatever, however you're watching the show, you see the information of my email address and my telephone number. It's all right there. And the same thing for the people who are watching us on YouTube. YouTube, if you look at the very top, the very, very top in the chat area, you'll see right there, I have my information there, telephone number, email address, and you can get in touch with me. For those of you who are on Instagram, it's not posted there, but I'll give you my my address. First of all, my email address is Frank Allan Prod, and spell Allan Allan as opposed to En. Otherwise, you want Frank Allan Prod, Prod, as in production, Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. Or you can call us. We have a telephone number. The number is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. And that's how you can get in touch with us. It's very simple as that. And you can also watch this show. If you're not watching it in real time, you can watch it on the rerun on Facebook and YouTube. And, of course, on Instagram. If you go onto my Instagram page, it'll be right there for you in the Instagram TV section. And you can check it out there for the rerun. And all the information I just gave you, of course, you'll hear back for it. And don't forget to tell your friends and your family and all that who are involved. Okay, let's see. What do we have here? It's, well, we're a little overdue. We're waiting for that phone call from DJ Pete. He'll be here in a couple of minutes or so. He might be on another telephone, another line. He's a very, very busy man, and sometimes he doesn't get that. But in the meantime, while we're waiting for him, we have birthdays coming up, which we'll talk about in just a few minutes, and conversations that continue up into the top of the hour. And of course, at which time we're going to be saying bye-bye. But in the meantime, we're here. It's now 17 minutes to the hour, right here on the coffee hour. And of course, it's always nice to have you aboard with us as we take a trip and have a little coffee. So, ladies and gentlemen, excuse me while I shoot up. Okay. It's getting a little colder, but I'll finish it before it's all over. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as promised, we are going to go to Portland, Maine, live from Portland, Maine via telephone, and talk to a man who has become a year older as of yesterday. He became a year older as yesterday and is not a damn thing he can do about it because all of us get older and you can't look back. DJ Pete, how are you today? Happy birthday.
Hey, how is everyone today? And good morning to Brian out there. So how's everyone doing today?
Everybody's doing good over here.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. That's good to hear.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I'm a day older, but I don't know how the saying goes. I'm just going to end it right there.
Day older and deeper in debt.
I got a lot of stuff here, so I'm going to plow through it as fast as I can.
Yeah.
Let's see. Born September 26, 1948. Dame Olivia Newton-John. That's her official name.
Mm-hmm.
British Australian singer, songwriter, actress. Born September 26, 1898. George Gershwin. Let's see. Born September 27th, 1947. Michael Lee Addy, also known as Meatloaf, American singer and actor. Some of his best music was a trilogy, Bat Out of Hell, three separate albums, I believe they were. He had a film appearance in Fight Club, 1999. He was in the movie The Rocky Horror Picture Show with Tim Curry and Susan Sarandon. Let's see, who else do we have this week? September 27th, 1958, Sean Paul Cassidy, American singer, actor, writer, and producer. What is it? We're going to continue on here to September 28th, 1928. Coco Taylor, born as Cora Anna Walton. Mm-hmm. American singer, Chicago blues, electric blues, R&B, and soul blues. Sometimes she's called the Queen of the Blues. Yeah. I actually saw her back in the 1990s here in Portland at a blues show. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Who's next? Country Johnny Mathis. Now, there's apparently two Johnny Mathises out there, and their birthdays are within a few days. So the first one here I'm going to talk about, September 28th, 1930. Country Johnny Mathis was an American country music singer and songwriter. Mm-hmm. Wrote more than 500 tunes in his long career. Welcome Home, Country Music Keeps on Growing, Harbor of Love, some of his tunes. Born September 28th, 1901, Edward Vincent Sullivan, also known as Ed Sullivan, American television personality. He was also a sports and entertainment reporter also. Let's see, born September 29th, 1931, Ferdinando, let me see if I can pronounce this right. Ferdinand. He's known as Freddy Bell. I can't pronounce that.
Could it be Ferdinand?
Yeah, Freddie Bell and the Bell Boys was a 1950s rock and roll band. Had a lot of great tunes. He covered he covered a version of Lieber and Stoller's Hound Dog, which was originally recorded by Big Mama Thornton.
And Giddy Up Ding Dong.
Yeah, Giddy Up Ding Dong. Take the Last Train Out of Town is one of my favorites.
Yep.
And many more. I was playing his music the other day. Born September 29th, 1935, Jerry Lee Lewis, The Killer, nicknamed The Killer.
Yep.
One of the original recording stars at Sun Records, and Crazy Arms, Whole Lot of Shaking Going On, High School Confidential, Great Ball to Fire, Breathless, a lot of great tunes by Jerry Lee. He covered a lot of great tunes also that other people came up with. Mm-hmm. Born September 29th, 1907, Orvon Grover Autry, also known as Gene Autry, nicknamed the Singing Cowboy, American singer, songwriter, actor, and musician, and rodeo performer. He gained his fame by singing a lot of crooning style country songs on the radio and in films on television for more than 3 decades in the early 1930s. He was the owner of a television station and several radio stations in Southern California from 1961 to 1997. Yeah. He appeared in 93 films. He has a great Christmas album with the classic tunes Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Here Comes Santa Claus, and many more. Really great country style sound from him.
He also owned the baseball team.
He did?
He owned the Los Angeles, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Brian, but he once owned the Los Angeles Angels.
Oh, yes, I see it now, yeah. Mm-hmm. I see that.
Yep.
Brian would probably know more about that.
Of course.
Let's see. Born September 29th, 1921, Eugene beat Bill Haley in the Comets from 1954 to 1962. However, he did not record on Rock Around the Clock. He came in a short time after that. I actually got to meet Freddy 2000, 2002, and 2003 here in Maine. He had a great style of guitar, combining elements of country music and jazz. Blue Comet Blues is an instrumental by Bill Haley in the Comets that Franny wrote. You can hear, which you can hear his guitar styles in. Another great instrumental is called Rockin' Little Tune, which features Franny on guitar and other Comet member Johnny Grand on the accordion. Pretty interesting tune there. Before he worked for Bill Haley, Franny worked as a guitarist for Benny Goodman during the bebop era in 1948. Let's see, let's continue on. Born September 30th. Actually, I'm going to skip these days for a second and go forward a little bit here. Because I got a lot of names here. Do I have anything for this Saturday? Hang on a second. Oh, yes, Saturday, October 2nd, in 1945, Don McLean was born. American Pie, that famous tune that he wrote, it's based upon the deaths of the Big Bopper, Richie Valens, and Buddy Holly.
Yeah.
If people didn't know that, but unfortunately, it's not it doesn't give a good claim to fame to that, because most people do not realize. Yeah. That's why he wrote it.
Yeah, because he mentioned in there the day the music died, but we all knew that was it. When they died that year, that was the day the music died. Yeah. And he did mention that in the song.
Yeah, he mentioned that in the song, but
a lot of people didn't know.
People in general don't know that.
Right, exactly.
Unfortunately. Okay, so let's back up to September 30th. We got a lot of great things that day. 1942, Franklin Joseph Lyman, also known as Frankie Lyman, American rock and roll, R&B, doo-wop singer and songwriter, best known as the Boy Soprano, nothing to do with a TV show, in the New York City-based early rock and roll group called the Teenagers. Let's see, Why Do Fools Fall in Love is one of his famous tunes. Let's see, born September 30th, 1935, Johnny Mathis, the other Johnny Mathis, American singer-songwriter, popular music, started his career with singles of standard music. Let's see, I don't see any music stuff here by him. Let's see, who else was born? September 30th, 1917, Buddy Rich. He was a drummer during the big band years. He worked for Tommy Dorsey, Count Basie, Harry James. He served in the U.S. Marines. He led the Buddy Rich Orchestra. He recorded some big band arrangements for West Side Story also. That's pretty neat. Let's see. Passed away on September 30th, 2003. Ronald Monroe Dawson, also known as Ronnie Dawson, the Blonde Bomber, they called him. American rockabilly singer, guitarist, drummer. Had a lot of great tunes. He was like a teenager in the 1950s and recorded a lot of great tunes then. Let's see. Also, someone who passed away on September 30th, 1955, American actor James Dean, who was a very popular person. His most celebrated film, Rebel Without a Cause, East of Eden, another one, and Giant.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I got like 15 names here this week. I'm trying to manage here on my computer. Born September 30th, 1977, from Biddeford, Maine, which is about 30 minutes south of Portland. Nick Curran, American blues rock and roll singer. He was a kid who learned to play drums and guitar, and his guitar sounds were pretty impressive for a young kid. He worked actually with Ronnie Dawson for a while, Kim Lenz, and I think he played with the Fabulous Thunderbirds for a short time. Yeah, 2004 to 2007, he was with them and appeared on their 2005 recording, Painted On. Also had his own band, Nick Curran and the Nightlifes, playing some like jump blues style stuff. And that's it. And then born September 30th, 1964, me.
There you go. And happy birthday to you. We're running out of time, but I want to wish you a happy birthday and enjoy the rest of the weekend. We'll see you back here next week, Pete.
All right, Frank, thanks a lot. And we'll catch you maybe next week. I'm not sure. I'm going to be in Boston.
Yeah.
I'm working a film, and I'm also working several fashion events.
Okay, Pete.
Okay, so keep in touch. Well, if I don't see you next week, it'll be 2 weeks.
You got it. Okay.
All right, bye.
Have a good one. That's DJ Pete. Of course, concludes his portion of the 2020 feature with, of course, music of notoriety people and reciting all those birthdays. And speaking of birthdays, today, actor Randy Quaid is 71 today. Actor Stephen Collins is 74. The late Donny Hathaway would have been 76. Stella Stevens, 83. Julie Andrews, 85. And let's see, actor-singer, the late Richard Harris would have been 91. The late Lawrence Harvey would have been 93. George Papa would have been 93 as well. Tom Bosley of Happy Days would have been 94. Richard Rogers, pianist Richard Rogers, would have been 97. U.S. President Jimmy Carter is celebrating his birthday today. He's 97. Happy birthday, Mr. President. The late actor James Whitmore would have been 100. And Walter Matthau would have been 101. Happy birthday to each and every one of you. Thank you so much. Okay, we're going to talk about those movies. And here's some good ones coming on Turner Classic Movies. They're coming up your way. By the way, DJ Pete has a radio show. I want to inject that to you. You can catch him on www.radio-airwave.co.uk, and he's on Mondays between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. Eastern. Also, you can catch him on WPMJ Radio in Portland, Maine. That's www for the website www.wpmj.org, and that's every other Tuesday between 8:30 p.m. and 10 p.m. Eastern, and all times are Eastern in the United States and Canada too. So there you go. Okay, talk about those movies while we have a little time left. You can check out Turner Classic Movie this weekend. As a matter of fact, tomorrow you hear The Greatest, 1977 movie with Muhammad Ali. That's coming on Turner Classic Movies at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And The Birds, Alfred Hitchcock movie from 1963, starring Tippi Hedren and Rod Taylor. That's Turner Classic Movie. That's Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and that's happening right there. And those of you who are, you can check out go back there and check out the movies on Turner Classic Movies. There may be other ones, but those are my picks of the week. It's time for me to go, ladies and gentlemen. I had a good time, and I hope you did too. However, time just doesn't allow it anymore. But we want to thank all of you. I didn't get a chance to acknowledge a lot of people came in. I think that was Janet that came in. We want to say hello to Janet. She was watching us on Instagram. And those of you who are watching, thank you so much. We're going to come back next week at 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern for more of the coffee hour. But you could also catch us too next week on Talk Back Live. And we're here between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern. And that's right here on Facebook. Instagram, and of course, YouTube. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful day, a wonderful weekend. God bless you. Have a great one, and I'll talk to you then. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.